This is my kitchen, how it looks right now, and how it's looked for the last 40 years. Right here, you will see there is a chimney area, and I'm showing you this fluff because as I was taking down this little pegboard, all of the fluff is because it hasn't been really cleaned for 40 years. So the first thing I did is take all of the things out of the cupboard because I needed to make sure that they wouldn't get broken or dirtier than normal. And then I hooked up my air gun because I was going to make a little tent around the chimney so that when I deconstructed it or demolished it, the dust wouldn't be as bad as it would be if I didn't have the tent. Well, it turns out, of course, that dust goes everywhere, but I do think that it did do a good job. So I went out into the garage and I found a whole bunch of small pieces of wood. I then made little squares or rectangles. And then I made two sides, basically, and put lightweight plastic around it to help keep the dust in. Anyway, so once again, I just want to have a shout out to power tools. It's so much nicer to use them than to actually use a hammer and nails. So if you're thinking to yourself, wow, what ugly flooring. Well, this flooring was put in the early 80s, and we are getting this changed out in about a week or so. So I'm very excited about that. The lighting also has to be changed out, but that's long down on my list of things to fix in the house. So here's where the chimney is. And how do I know that's a chimney? Well, first of all, when we first bought the house, there was a chimney that went up over the roof. I know, it's pretty smart, huh? So maybe about 4 years ago, I got a professional company to come in to get rid of the chimney. Because although I'm not afraid of heights, I didn't really want to be on top of the chimney to demolish the, I didn't want to be on top of the roof to demolish the chimney. And also the roof, had to be then fixed because there was no roof on that part. So I think it was Western Roofing in Bellingham, Washington, and they came over and took off the roof. The guy was really great, and he also oiled our wind chime, and he fixed everything up on the roof, and I was just very amazed. So I then took the chimney down in the upstairs bedroom, and that was a couple of day job. So I thought to myself, why do we have this chimney in the kitchen? It doesn't do anything except for take up space. So my father, for a present, bought me this hand tool, and when I use it, I feel like I am Linda Hamilton from Terminator. And if any of you kids out there aren't as old as I am, here's an old piece of wallpaper. There's about 5 layers of wallpaper. Not joking. So if you're my age, you grew up with Terminator, and the mom of one of the characters, she is Linda Hamilton. And there's a really great video of her, a picture of her where she's holding a gun and she is ripped. She's got no body fat. She looks totally tough. And as a young woman or older girl, I thought, oh my goodness, she's so cool. So it turns out that she basically had to train all the time, didn't get to eat, to be really looking that way for the movie. An interesting fact about that is that she has a twin sister. And so there's a backflash. Is that what it's called? Flashback. There we go. There's a flashback of her, and they actually used her sister's image because her sister looked like a normal person and not like this total bad ASS woman. So at the time, I thought she was really, really cool. So when I use this tool, I think to myself, yeah, I'm so cool. I must tell you, though, this is a very heavy tool, and I have very short arms, so using it really did hurt my lower back, which I'm suffering from a little bit right now. And there were sparks coming out of the tool, So I probably wouldn't have felt the sparks if I had a long sleeve shirt on. And yes, I'm not wearing gloves right now. I do put them on later. And so I thought to myself, yeah, sparks coming out of the tool, I think that's not really good. Anyway, so I'm taking off the bricks, and I know, not the bricks, the wallpaper and the drywall, till I get down to the bricks. And I know it's going to look like this because, of course, upstairs looked like this as well. The most fun for me is to see all the different wallpapers, and there were some with flowers on them. There were some that had scenes with little houses. It's very interesting. And so yeah, this part, actually the whole thing of demolishing a chimney is not difficult. It just takes strength. And being right now a 54-year-old woman, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I paid the piper for at least 2 days because, yeah, I probably should have done more core work. So I started out, I'm not sure how good this, in order this is, because it's kind of hard to figure it out. But what I learned from before is, of course, you start from the very top. And why would you start from the very top? Can you tell me why? I can't hear you. That's right. You don't want bricks to fall on your head. Oh, and how did I learn that? Oh, that's right. When I demolished the one upstairs in the bedroom, a brick fell on my arm. Yeah, it didn't break it, but it didn't feel good. Now, I did leave up about 2 bricks because as hard as I tried to get those bricks to loosen up, I could not do it. So I thought to myself, if those bricks want to be there, that's great. They're not in my way. And yeah, bricks, you can just stay there as long as you want. So also you'll see the black marks on the brick, and that is from the soot. Now, they did use this chimney as a working chimney back in the day, but it didn't have a fireplace. It had potbelly stoves, and they used coal to keep the house warm. And the house was built in 1909. And it's just been really fun to demolish parts of it because I found the most interesting things. I also found a stash of nuts behind the cabinet that is next to the chimney on the right. So I'm sure back in the day some little rodents hid them away and never came back for them, as little rodents tend to do. Now, of course, I get smart and I put my gloves on. Oh, why is that? Because when I was taking down the metal sides for the drywall, I bent one, and it pinched my skin and made me bleed a little bit. Yes, I know. Oh, my goodness. So my plan here is all of the pieces of brick that are at least a half size of a brick, I'm keeping for edging for around my garden. Anything that is less than a half of a brick, it goes to the dump. Also, all of the mortar goes into the garbage and anything else. So after the 3 days, I put all of the bags of garbage into my little minivan, and I drove it to the dump. And so at the end of the video, you'll see how much I brought, and then I want you to guess how much money it cost. So we do have weekly pickups at our house for garbage, but this is not regular garbage. I would have to divvy this out over months to do it in the regular garbage. So get rid of it, no problem, kept the bricks. Also, during this time, my GoPro got so filthy, but I must give a shout out to GoPro because most of the video still came out so clear, even though the lens was pretty dusty. So, thank you very much. Once again, I'm starting at the top, and as I get about halfway down, I can then reach the bricks by myself without having to use a ladder, and then it becomes so much easier. So, yeah, I really do like demolition very much. I just wish I were a little bit stronger and a little bit younger. because I think demolition is so much fun. Now, part of me thinks, wouldn't it be nice just to keep one side of the wall, the original bricks? And you'll see at the end of this that all of a sudden, some of the bricks start to come out by themselves. And so that does not make it very safe. The brick wall on the very far side of where I'm standing goes all the way up to the upstairs bedroom. Now, the upstairs bedroom, I just painted it white so the little dust wouldn't go everywhere, and it doesn't take up much space. It was so easy because it was an empty area, so I was able to access the chimney on 3 sides. Once I got down to this area in the kitchen, I could only access it on 2 sides. One side was a built-in cabinet. So in my house, I put some of these bricks on the side yard. Some of them I put in the front by the door, and then I started saying to myself, oh my goodness, let's get this out of the house at least so I can start cleaning up. Oh, yeah. So I by myself, brought all these bricks back and forth. And of course, I wanted as many bricks as I could take so I wouldn't have to take so many trips. And that's why I think my back's a little bit sore. So I have a massage scheduled on Friday, which is about 4 days. Let's see. 3 days from now. So I'm looking forward to that very much. I'm going to a medicinal or medical massage, which is for pain and things like that. So we'll see how that goes. So cleaning up, I always this is why I like projects. You have a problem or something you don't like. You fix the problem, as in you get rid of it. Chimney now gone almost. Then you clean everything up, and then the project is finished. I was listening to a podcast today, and one of the people asked the listener, what is the thing that brings you the most joy? Well, the person who called had cancer when he was a child. And so he really, really got energy and happiness out of helping other kids who have cancer. So I think it's pediatric cancer, is what he called it. So currently, here I am all dusty. So I did wear everything, including the eye protection. So I'm almost done. I have now here I am done. So I got down to the base level of the floor, but because the floor guys are going to come in about a week, I thought I needed to make the bricks go 1 layer down so that when they show up, they can put in a supporting piece of wood, so that way all the wood will be the same height or whatever. I thought it'd be easier for them. So this guy said that although he's an accountant basically, and he went to university for being an accountant, that's not what he really wanted to do. He wanted to help kids. So the people I was listening to, who are just funny guys, one of the guys who works on the show said, maybe you could work for pediatric kids, but with money, because that's one thing that a lot of organizations don't do well. And I thought to myself, that is such a good idea. So got to thinking, what is the thing that I would love to do even if I didn't get paid? And that is projects. Now here's a little button I found. I'll show it to you a little bit later in the video. Yes, I love projects. I love when something's dirty and then you make it clean. When there's a chimney and you don't want it, you take it away. You go on a walk, there's dog poop everywhere, you pick it up. Yes, I love projects. However, I must say, I like projects that you can finish in about a week. Because you might rightly say, well, Paula, getting healthy and losing weight's a project. Right. 1 year long projects, not really gratifying. Yeah, right? So I do know that I could make myself a project. But right now, we're just happy doing projects to fix up the house. So here I am sweeping the chimney. And here is what I did with all of the garbage bags. The garbage bags are not all the way full, but because they're filled with bricks and mortar dust and all that stuff, I'm not joking when I am telling you right now, I am just pulling this along because it's so much easier than picking it up. Oh yeah. And it was so heavy that it slid right down the stairs very easily. And because we're in Northwest Washington, it was raining outside. Yeah. Well, I'd rather have it raining and cool than hot and sweaty outside. Whoa. So I'm putting everything in the car and I will bring it to the dump. Once again, how much do you think I'm going to pay for all of this? Put your comments down below. Let's see how correct you are. I will tell you at the end. Let's see if you can figure it out before I tell you. So it's also interesting. I'm taking a little rest here. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. These bags are scented, which I found really funny. So I got in the car. I'm like, why did it smell so good in here? Oh yeah. So here is the wall now with no chimney. And you can see, here's the dust on my chest, the dust on the walls, dust on the ceiling. It is so bad. But it was mostly contained to this area. And over the next few days, I will be cleaning off the walls and everything because since the floor guys are coming in a week, they're going to take out some of the flooring. Not sure if they're going to take 2 out of 4 levels or all of them out, but there are about 4 levels of flooring underneath this. So there'll be dust again later on. Now, after I use this little red kind of dry mop, I did get a dry Swiffer, and that seemed to work pretty well. And then after I got the dry Swiffer, I brought out my Shark vacuum cleaner, which is amazing. But even on the highest rung of the ladder that I had, it took all of my energy to vacuum off the ceiling. I did it for about 20 minutes and it was killing me because I have little T-Rex arms. So you can see here's what the desk looked like. Projects with Paula. Yes, I love you too. So here is the little, okay, so here's the garbage. How much? $65. Anyway, hope you liked my demolition with Projects with Paula. Be sure to subscribe. There'll be more later on. Have a great day. Bye-bye.